So these are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. They're basically a refined version of the Jabra Elite 75Ts, which are an all-around great pair of truly wireless earbuds that got a surprise active noise cancellation upgrade a year after they came out. Now, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros feature upgrades like wireless charging, more effective active noise cancellation, and much better sound. So whether you're thinking about picking these earbuds up or if you're thinking about upgrading, let's see what the Jabra Elite 7 Pros are all about. Now, regarding pricing, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros have a retail price of $200. Not bad given their feature set, but they are a little more expensive than their predecessors, the Jabra Elite 75Ts, which used to retail for $180 when they first came out. Nonetheless, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros are a refined upgrade from the Jabra Elite 75Ts, and they're a solid pickup. So if you want to pick these earbuds up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about this case. The Jabra Elite 7 Pros have a decently small case for everyday carry earbuds. It's not super noticeable when it's in your pocket, and it's easy enough to handle. The lid on this case is very easy to open and close. This case has decently strong magnets in it, which makes taking your earbuds out and putting them back in super easy. And this case has a slightly slate finish to it, which makes gripping this case fairly easy. Overall, I have no complaints about this case. The only thing that I do have to point out about this case is that it is a little wider than the Jabra Elite 75T's case. But regarding thickness and height, they're basically the same. So overall, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros have a decently small case for everyday carry. But technically, I am going to have to say that this case is a little larger than the Elite 75T's case. But I think the size difference is negligible. And when compared to other everyday carry earbuds out there, the Elite 7 Pro's case is noticeably larger than your AirPod Pro's case, AirPods 3 case, and especially the entry-level AirPods case. The Jabra's case has a larger footprint and is noticeably thicker as well. But when compared to other popular options, the Elite 7 Pro's case is very similar to the Galaxy Buds case, and it's very similar to the Sony WF-1000XM4's case too. And when compared to the Beats Studio Buds and Sennheiser CX Plus case, the Elite 7 Pro's case is noticeably smaller. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros have an advertised combined battery life of 30 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on, which is above average. The earbuds themselves can go for 8 straight hours, and the case can supply 3 additional charges. And if you were to use these earbuds with their active noise cancellation turned off, then you could always extend their battery life even more. But in general, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros have an above average battery life because when compared to other popular ANC earbuds like the Jabra Elite 75Ts, Jabra Elite 85Ts, AirPods Pro, Beats Fit Pro, or Sony WF-1000XM4s, they all have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. Then there are the Galaxy Buds Pro, which have an advertised combined battery life of 18 hours with the active noise cancellation turned on, and then there are the Beats Studio Buds, which have an advertised combined battery life of 15 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. So overall, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros have a very solid battery life to them. Now, when it comes to charging these earbuds, the Elite 7 Pros charge via a USB-C port just as it should and just like its predecessors. But this time around, this case now has wireless charging, which is something its predecessors didn't have. Now, personally, I don't really care for wireless charging on my earbuds, but this is now a rather standard feature that we do expect to see on our earbuds nowadays, especially once we get to this price range. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. The sculpt of the Elite 7 Pros is a little simplified when compared to the sculpt of the Elite 75Ts. But nonetheless, these earbuds fit basically the same. The Elite 7 Pros fit like a standard pair of in-ear earbuds, like let's say the Elite 75Ts, Elite 3s, Galaxy Buds 2, or Sennheiser CX Plus. As in, they go into your ear canal a decent amount. So they can feel a little more intrusive than your shallow fitting in-ear earbuds, like let's say the Jabra Elite 85Ts, AirPods Pro, or Galaxy Buds Pro. Nonetheless, you can definitely wear these earbuds for a good long while without much discomfort, and these earbuds offer a decent amount of lockdown as well. However, I really want to recommend these earbuds for working out because they do like to wiggle out, especially if you're jogging. The Jabra Elite 7 Pros are best used as a pair of casual earbuds. But now let's talk about connectivity, because there have been some major changes here. Now, thankfully, the Elite 7 Pros now each establish a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one. It doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see on our earbuds nowadays, especially on our premium earbuds. Whereas with Jabra's older earbuds, like let's say either the Jabra Elite 75Ts or Elite 85Ts, they're still using a Hero and Sidekick setup, meaning that one earbud, the Hero earbud, in this case the right earbud, actually establishes a connection with your phone and then relays that connection over to the left earbud. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you got to use the correct earbud, or in this case, the right earbud, the Hero earbud. Now, there's nothing wrong with earbuds that are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup, but usually earbuds that are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup are either last gen or just cheaper. However, the standout characteristic of Jabra's earbuds that are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup is that they can be simultaneously connected to any two Bluetooth devices regardless of operating system. So you can easily hot swap between any two devices regardless of operating system. And this is great if you're a power user with multiple devices from different ecosystems. Because let's say, for example, you've got an Android device and an iPad, then you're still going to be able to hot swap between the two. But unfortunately, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros can only be connected to one device at a time, which is rather bittersweet. However, Jabra does promise that the Elite 7 Pros will be getting Bluetooth multi-point connectivity through a firmware update in January 2022. Now, given that Jabra managed to add active noise cancellation to the 75Ts through a firmware update a year after they came out, I do think Jabra will deliver. But when it comes to overall performance, these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, you've got support for SBC and AAC, a rather standard stack. Unfortunately, there is no support for any higher quality audio codecs like either aptX or LDAC, but AAC works perfectly fine. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds, because the Jabra Elite 7 Pros sound very different from both the Elite 75Ts and Elite 85Ts. Now, in general, I have always recommended Jabra's earbuds to someone who likes a more bass-heavy EQ, because Jabra's earbuds have always had a slightly warmer sound signature to them. However, the Elite 7 Pros are shooting for a more neutral sound signature this time around. When compared to the Jabra Elite 85Ts, the Elite 7 Pros don't sound as shallow. The mids and vocals on these earbuds are much more prominent. They're very much the focal point here. But I also noticed that the treble on the Elite 7 Pros is much more precise and doesn't get tinny like the treble that is found on the Elite 75Ts. Now, these earbuds also have a good amount of bass to them, and they're definitely going to satiate most people. But these earbuds don't have as much bass as the Elite 85Ts or Elite 75Ts. However, more importantly, the bass on these earbuds doesn't roll off and mess with the rest of your music like the bass on these other two earbuds does, especially on the 75Ts. Overall, I would say that the Elite 7 Pros sound way better than the Elite 75Ts because their bass is cleaner and their treble doesn't get tinny. And I would also say the Elite 7 Pros sound better than the Elite 85Ts because they don't sound as shallow. But overall, I would now recommend the Jabra Elite 7 Pros to someone who likes a more neutral or vocals-focused EQ. Overall, I would say the Jabra Elite 7 Pros sound very similar to the Galaxy Buds 2 while in their dynamic EQ. However, the Jabra's bass does come in a little harder. But I do have to say that both the Galaxy Buds Pro and Beats Studio Buds sound better than the Jabras because they have better instrument separation and much deeper resonating bass. And then there are the Sennheiser CX Plus, which are the top dog right now when it comes to sound quality. Now, when it comes to controlling your media, in classic Jabra fashion, the Elite 7 Pros are using physical buttons, and this could actually be a deciding factor for some people. Some people just don't want to have to deal with touchpads on their earbuds. Now, through Jabra's app, you can customize the layout of your control buttons, but overall, you can play or pause your music, you can skip through your music, and you can adjust the volume of your music by pressing and holding on either the left earbud or right earbud. Now, when it comes to voice assistants, obviously you can always activate your phone's default voice assistant by pressing on the touchpad. And if you want, you can always have always listening if you're on an Android device. But if you like to use Google Assistant or Siri, you're not going to be able to verbally activate your voice assistant with these earbuds. But now, let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds. Now, in general, Jabra does active noise cancellation on their earbuds very well, and they even managed to add rather impressive active noise cancellation to the 75Ts through a firmware update a year after they came out. Now, I know I've said this a few times already, but I really do think it's impressive. Now, in general, the ANC on these earbuds is good, but don't expect it to go blocking as much noise as a proper pair of over-ear ANC headphones, like either the Bose NC700, Sony 1000XM4s, and especially the AirPod Max. Now, when it comes to overall ranking, the Sony WF-1000XM4s still block out the most amount of noise here, albeit they do have an advantage because of their itchy foam ear tips. Below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts, which also block out a ton of noise, all while being more comfortable, so personally I do prefer them. Below them are the AirPods Pro and Sennheiser Momentum 2s, which I feel are neck and neck. Below them are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. Below them are the Beats Fit Pro. And below them are the Galaxy Buds Pro. Now, below the Galaxy Buds Pro are the Jabra Elite 75Ts. Below them are the Beats Studio Buds. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2. And below them are the Sennheiser CX Plus. So overall, Jabra ranks pretty well here when it comes to active noise cancellation. But personally, if active noise cancellation is still very important to you, I still recommend that you go with the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Now, even though the active noise cancellation on the Jabra Elite 7 Pros is pretty good, and it is an upgrade from the Jabra Elite 75Ts, this does leave me to speculate that we'll see the Jabra Elite 8 Pros with even better active noise cancellation and a more comfortable shallow fit. Now, even though the Elite 7 Pros block out an impressive amount of noise without any cabin pressure and without changing how your music sounds, I do gotta point out that there is this very faint sound in the background that kind of goes like, it's not static, it kind of sounds like an old-timey radio, you know, like changing radio frequencies and like Fallout. Now, obviously, you're not going to hear this if you're actually playing music through these earbuds, but I do want to point it out because it's something that just isn't heard on either the 75Ts, 85Ts, and a lot of other earbuds out there. So hopefully they'll correct this through a future firmware update. But like I mentioned in the past, I only use the active noise cancellation on my earbuds when I have to, and what's really important to me is the quality of their ambient mode. Now, the ambient mode on these earbuds is decent, and you can adjust it to your liking, but this ambient mode does sound rather artificial. This ambient mode does like to amplify noise pollution, and it just doesn't sound as good as the ambient mode found on the 85Ts. It's usable, but it's not my favorite. However, these earbuds do have an active ambient mode just like the Jabra Elite 85Ts. So this ambient mode will automatically reduce itself if there's a sudden spike in loud noise. So let's say you're walking outdoors and a siren rolls by, the ambient mode on these earbuds will automatically reduce itself, just saving your ears from getting blasted. Now, in general, earbuds that still have an active ambient mode are still rather rare, and this is definitely one of those features that you do miss when you don't have it anymore. However, I do feel that the active ambient mode on these earbuds is too lenient for my taste because the AirPods Pro are much faster to react and they do a much better job of actually protecting your hearing. But overall, the ambient mode on the Jabra Elite 7 Pros is usable, but I feel that there is still room for improvement. This ambient mode could sound more natural, and they could also do a better job of protecting your hearing. And finally, here's the microphone test. And overall, I feel that the microphone on both the Jabra Elite 75Ts and Jabra Elite 7 Pros is a real toss-up. While in a quiet room, these microphones are decent enough for phone calls, but in classic Jabra fashion, these microphones do sound rather shallow. And personally, I can't help but feel that the Jabra Elite 7 Pros sound a little more shallow. However, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros do actually try to block out ambient noise, unlike the Jabra Elite 75Ts, which just let in everything. Now, you can definitely still hear a decent amount of road noise in the background, but at least it is reduced. Whereas with the Jabra Elite 75Ts, they're just letting in everything, but my voice is still very prominent. And the same thing can be said about blocking out chatter. The Jabra Elite 75Ts are letting in everything, but my voice is still rather prominent. Whereas with the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, they are trying to block out this chatter, but there is a lot of interference in the background. So overall, I would have to say that the microphone on these earbuds is decent enough for phone calls, but I would try to take those phone calls while in a quieter environment. So with all that being said, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros continue being a solid pair of ANC earbuds to consider. They now have a wireless charging, active noise cancellation that blocks out a little more noise than the Jabra Elite 75Ts. They sound much better as well, and they have an above average battery life. However, personally, I do wish the ambient mode on these earbuds was better, and the microphone on these earbuds still has room for improvement. Now, personally, I am very happy to see that Jabra is now moving to a more modern connection setup on their earbuds, but I really do hope that they deliver on their Bluetooth multi-point connectivity firmware upgrade. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And, you know, I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something that I'm really proud of.